What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Jericho Report Weekly News Briefing. It is Sunday, the 12th of November, 2023. It's been another week of madness. I got all kinds of stuff to give you here. As we make our way through this November 2023, just non-stop World War III, this, that, the other thing, let's just jump into it. As always, the first link below will take you over to the Patreon post. That's where you can find all the madness. Be advised, COVID strains could ruin Christmas. Oh no, Aussies are planning the end-of-year holidays, but there could be concerns about an 8th COVID wave derailing Christmas. I'm sure this is going to happen all over the world. I'll put a link to this. Listen to what the Toronto mayor has to say.
It's free. Just do it.
Just
do the double jab.
Do the double, come on, do it.
And, you know, we saw something amazing that happened during the COVID-19. It brought Torontonians together. It was a sense of civic pride that we're going to get. Yeah,
the Nazis had a sense of civic pride, too. Anti-vaccination campaigner stands in front of a vaccination bus, warns people against it. Look what happens. Oh, are you all right? I'm not quite sure where this is. Somewhere over the UK, it looks like.
Don't look well.
Don't look well. Nope.
Looks like a fit or something.
Yeah, that
looks like a fit.
Just came from the vaccine bus over there.
It's all going. Is this? Have you just had this person? Have you just had this person?
Turn that camera off. Show some respect. Tell it to this guy.
This is me lifting my eyebrows. And why is that?
You know that link I gave you on last week's report about how strokes are now transmissible because of blood transfusions? It's not medical misinformation. I mean, it's mainstream news.
I'm now unofficially vaccinated.
Better hope you don't need a blood transfusion. Excess mortality surge in cases. Concern. Look at this. People are dropping dead all over the place. There's all kinds of charts and graphs. And boy, we told you so. Strain on the body. Marijuana this week raises risk of heart attack, heart failure, and stroke by up to a third. 2 major studies. Of course it does. Waking up in the morning will kill you. Going to bed at night will kill you. Brushing your teeth will kill you. Everything will kill you. Just not this one thing. Okay, we got this. Why do you want to give it to soldiers then? Ukraine poised to legalize medical weed to help soldiers, but it can kill them, is what the mainstream media is saying. I don't know. That from Bloomberg. Other news, we got Trump news this week. Trump clashes with the judge. Did you watch any of the Trump? Oh my God, it was so hilarious. He gets on the dead. Of course, it's not. CNN had a reporter in the courtroom that was like texting every 2 seconds about everything that Donald Trump was doing, because CNN drooling over Trump and everything. And like, oh my God, the judge just asked Trump a yes or no question, and he went on a tirade about, this is so unfair. I did perfect business. Everything is perfect. It's always perfect. It was kind of hilarious to watch. So I'll put a link. Hillary Clinton compares Donald Trump to Adolf Hitler on The View. Wow, that's really rich coming from you. What difference does it make, lady? The other judge in Trump's other case, I guess up in New York, he likes to post naked selfies and stuff. There's all kinds of memes of him out there. What is that? Ooh, that's Geraldo. Put a link to that. Other news, we got, will Biden consider dropping out of 24 race? I don't know. The news break seems to think he will. I don't know. I don't know about that. But then we do have this CNN poll majority say no chance they would vote for Biden 2024. No way. That one Trump judge, there's all kinds of craziness out there about him. He's definitely weirdo. Over to financial news. How major U.S. stock indexes fared on the Friday. Looks like on Friday the Dow Jones rose 391 points. For the week, the Dow was up 221 points. Had a big week last week, so up and away. The Dow went to close 34,283. I'll put a link to the market recap data. In-game interest on U.S. debt skyrockets above $1 trillion for the first time ever. That from Zero Hedge. Have you seen the U.S. debt clock lately? Let's just soak this in here for a minute. Look at that. Oh, remember way back in the day, we were freaking out when it was like 8 trillion. Now it's 33, almost 34 trillion. I mean, who knows what all these numbers mean? And this is the Great Reset has got to happen at some. This is why I've always said it's inevitable. This can't keep happening like this. Oh my God. Put a link to that. Janet Yellen, I knew she was going to say something. The Republican effort to cut IRS funding for Israel damaging and irresponsible. They're not going to let that happen. Should be interesting to note, though, that this story wasn't originally titled, if I'm looking up the URL, IRS plan let taxpayers digitally submit documents ahead of schedule. So they changed the story again. They did that on me last week, too. Always look at the URLs to verify what you're looking at on the screen. Why banks suddenly closing down customer accounts? Janet Yellen, anything to say? I don't know. Are they not in compliance with your this or that? I can tell you why they shut down all our PayPal accounts. Let's see. We got leaders approved deal. Actors strike to end at midnight. I guess Hollywood going back to work. I forgot they were off work all this time. So they get back to making TV shows that nobody's going to watch anyway. I'll put a link to that. Over in mass layoffs in Pennsylvania grow through the year. Put a link to this. Medical miscellaneous job cutting article. $20 minimum wage. Here's what it looks like. Remember the movie Short Circuit? Coffee service coming through. Please watch your step. Coffee service. Put a link to that. Meanwhile, look at this. Check this out. I'll just play a video. Look at this.
Now, I'm going to flip you around just so you see what I see.
Artificial intelligence is demanding a tip nowadays, apparently.
See that?
Watch this.
So I'm going to say next.
Would you like to leave a tip?
Would I like to leave a tip?
For a self-service?
I have not seen a single employee. I have scanned my own Perrier, and now the robot wants me to tip it.
Yeah. Well, the Chicago neighborhood, we got crime going on all over the place. Family held up in their own driveway. I'm scrolling. Let me turn it down because it's going to be loud. She just parked her car. The garage door's closing. People going, get your purse. This goes on for a while. Let's fast forward this a little bit. There was somebody else here, too, I think. And I got to tell you about a couple things that happened in St. Louis, just south of Chicago. Armed robbery suspects came away empty-handed because they could not drive a manual transmission. This is just, there's no video to this. This is a story that happened, if you're familiar with St. Louis, in Towgrove Park. A couple was held up, and they were going to take this guy and his girlfriend or whatever to go to the ATM to withdraw money, but they got in the driver's seat and they couldn't drive a stick, so they ended up running away. So I just thought that was funny. And check this out. Look at this. Thieves take off with heavy historic Soulard church bell valued at $30,000. Look at this.
History stolen
in St. Louis, in my city, they stealing church bells.
Bronze bell is valued.
What are you gonna do with this thing? You think you're gonna walk into the metal scrap place and be like, how much I can get for this bell? This bunch of pirates, I swear. I mean, do you have a friend or a family member who like has their own like smelter where they can melt this bell down? Because you're not gonna take this shit to a pawn shop. I know that much. Over to New World Order and Police State News. This crazy FBI SWAT teams and cops search for this January 6th riot suspect. I think he turned himself in. This guy here, I'll put a link to this. He's got another article here, a tweet here. It says FBI is reportedly using tanks to hunt this guy down. You come down here, there's I don't know if this was just another January 6th person they were looking for. Crazy manhunt. I think he's in custody though. Brazil, we got vaccine news. Health Ministry has now announced that COVID-19 vaccine will be added to mandatory annual immunization program for children and babies. That's in Brazil. I went to go looking for stuff in the United States. I came back with the CDC group endorses adding COVID shots to recommended vaccine schedule, but I don't think this ever would. Now, this is an article from 2022, but it's all I can come with. I did come up with the Kansas City and Missouri, what vaccines are required for children in Kansas and Missouri. If you scroll down here, the COVID is not required, but if you look at all this other stuff and you just think to yourself, this is all foreign substances that are shot into the body that we're told is supposed to protect children, and that's all of the other stuff on that list. Other stuff going on. Bill Gates, digital IDs will be mandatory to participate in society. But we got this here. Listen to what this guy has to say here.
It means that probably not far from now, the digital identity will be effect in the European Union. Right after this agreement, Commissioner Breton said,
now we have the digital wallet.
We have the digital identity wallet, we have to put something in it.
It's going to put your whole life in it, and we all know it. We've been talking about it for 15 plus years. Here it is. FCC Commissioner calls Biden equality plan for internet control sweeping, unprecedented, and unlawful. Be advised, more clamps on the internet. I didn't even read into it. Do I really need to? Caravan and immigration news. Migrants heading to U.S. blocks highway in Mexico. We got this. This is what's coming to the southern border. We got Democrats circulate plan to open the floodgates for Palestinians. Well, we all saw that coming. Put a link to that from Breitbart. Eric Adams, his legal woes overshadow NYC's migrant crisis. What's going on with him this week? Apparently the FBI seized his phone, iPad of the New York mayor in an escalation of fundraising investigation. What's going on? I think what's more likely to have happened is he actually pissed somebody off. He said the wrong thing, and you know how that can go. Over to World War III news. Be advised, U.S. launches airstrike in Syria as response to attacks on Iran-backed militias by Iran-backed militias. Operation Blackjack alert here. I got a second one on this. U.S. launches second round of airstrikes on Iran-backed groups, says attacked American troops. We are bombing Syria, as was predicted in Operation Black. Man, I'm telling you, man, the signs are everywhere. U.S. nuclear submarine sent to confront Iran. Yeah, that from RT on November 7, 2023. Israel agrees to 4-hour pauses in fighting to let Hamas hostages out. White House announces, as Biden says, there's no chance of a ceasefire. No chance. I think Netanyahu came out and said, we'll go at it alone. The whole world can hate us. I don't know. We're going to wipe out Hamas. There's talk now. I've seen a few of these this week that the Iron Dome may be malfunctioning. System may be hacked. I mean, I don't know. It's a pretty crazy video there. I'll put a link to that. I don't know what's going on. Massive destruction, speaking of missiles shot from the other side of Gaza housing, a war crime. Yeah, there's dead people trapped under this rubble. People that had nothing to do with this war. Women and children and little kids. It's just graphic. Israeli father who was kidnapped on October 7, lynched in public by Palestinian mob. I'm not going to play the video. I'll put a link to it. It's very graphic, be advised. In America, you got this going on outside the White House. Yeah. Up in New York, you got the NYPD car apparently vandalized. Big stuff going on there. We had protests in St. Louis the other day. Nothing came of it that I'm aware of. I couldn't hear a lot of what was going on the ground, but I think it was pretty, just people marching. Police were closing streets, stuff like that, but there was nothing. It wasn't like a Black Lives Matter kind of thing. They weren't burning down the neighborhood and stuff like that. So, Jewish Federation placing hostages on Israeli-Hamas war on billboards across St. Louis. You tell me there's not a psychological operation going on here. Give me a break. U.S. and NATO suspend participation in landmark Cold War treaty. That from the Wall Street Journal. I think Russia dropped out of this same thing earlier this year. There's an article out there somewhere on that. And Zelensky invites Trump to Ukraine. Says he can't manage this war. Apparently, Trump said that if he could end this war in like 48 hours or something. So Zelensky's like, bring it on. And with all the Israeli stuff going on, he's getting all, he's like, I'm being left out of everything. There's all kinds of memes I saw online this week about Zelensky with like a mean face, sourpuss on. They're like, I need more money. Over 2 earth changes in 2012 news. I got the earthquake monitor set up for 6 points and above for the past week. We had a 6.1 on the 10th out of Indonesia, 6.0 on the 9th, a 6.7 on the 8th, 7.1 on the 8th. 6.7 on the end. I'll put a link to the earthquake. The thing to watch right now is Iceland. Iceland is apparently having all of these little earthquakes, and there's talk that the volcano is about to erupt. There's cracks in the ground. If you just Google Iceland potential volcano eruption or whatever, you'll find some articles out there on that. Watch Iceland over the next week. It's going to get very interesting, I think. What we got here, wildfires trigger evacuations in North Carolina mountains. Huge fires going on in the North Carolina mountains, to be advised. Up in Alaska, we got major winter storm takes aim at Alaska with rain and snow and high winds, so dress warm. I'll put a link to that. Shepherd chemical fire down in Texas. Apparently 1 employee injured. Scroll down. Oh my God, big chemical fire. I got some Twitter footage of this as well. Big smoke everywhere. There you go. Be advised, my friends in Texas, I hope everyone's safe. Over in the Ukraine, look at this. Red northern lights appear over parts of the Ukraine. Crazy stuff going on with the sun. Big CMEs hitting the atmosphere and all this. Some amazing pictures there. I wonder if that's what took out the internet in Australia. Look at this. CEO says some services are being restored after millions across Australia lost mobile and internet. Huge outage. Man, shut down transportation, shut down all kinds of stuff. Was it something to do with the sun? Or maybe it was something to do with the war going on in space. World's first space battle. Israelis Air Force defeats aerial threat beyond Earth atmosphere. That from Text Time. I got a second link on that. Space becomes new theater of war. Israel shoots down ballistic missile from 62 miles above the Earth. Getting interesting. Other news going on. The Stop Oil protesters apparently smashed the glass at the National Gallery. Look at this. Why? What?
Women did not get the vote by voting.
What does it... I swear. And we got motorist shoots dead, 2 environmental protesters down, and this happened down in Mexico, down in Panama, actually. Panama, look at this. Guy, he's just... You push people too far, man. You push people too far. Huh? I told you get out of the road. He just starts shooting people. Craziness ensues on the highway. I don't know if they actually have that, but I'll put a link to that. And then I got one at the bottom. Apparently, drunk grizzly bear keeps getting hit by train. Apparently, this is where's this up? In Montana somewhere. Trains are coming along and dropping grains on the railroad tracks, and the bears are eating this and becoming intoxicated by it, and they keep getting it. So, human beings suck, I swear. I just can't wait for the bears to get their revenge. Over to strange and bizarre news. Some potentially upsetting stuff coming up. Be advised, kind of graphic. We'll start off with armed man with AR-15 arrested on Capitol Hill. You didn't hear anything about this from the media because the race just wasn't right. Let's be honest. Put a link to that. Had it been a white guy, it would have been, oh my God, these domestic terrorists. But, that one got buried. Up in Tacoma, Washington, armed robbery caught on... Look at this, guys. These 3 Vietnamese men just having a beer in their garage. Check out what happens. Give me all your shit. They ain't having it. Watch what happens. Huh? No. No. Hang on now. Wait for it. It's worth it. Trust me. Keys, everything. They want his keys and everything. Oh, see, he just hit the guy in the face with a barrel of a gun. Now, this guy ain't having it no more. Right on, shout out to them. They ain't having your shit. Video shows driver intentionally hitting Florida deputies with car leaving the... Oh, look at this. Did you see this shit that went down? Apparently it was a domestic dispute call. The cops show up. The guy, I guess, left. Then he drives around the block, and watch what happens next. Pure craziness. I mean, holy shit. People that are, in a certain frame of mind, man... I hope these cops are all right. I'm pretty sure they got this guy in custody. And if you watch to the end...
Get off the vehicle right now! Get off the phone!
He's definitely looking to be killed by cops.
Get off the car right now!
Gotta commend those cops for going taser because they would have been fully justified blowing the guy's fucking head off. We got craziness going on at a Walmart or a Kmart somewhere. Look what's going on. What is this? The Karens are out of control. Maybe she's upset over this. Kmart removes controversial Christmas Hamas bag from sale after a complaint from a Jewish... Give me a break here from Sky News. We got this. They had no problem selling these. Selling their souls. Hasbro offered AI-powered virtual Ouija board for Halloween. Put a link to that. Maybe it's the drugs. 220-pound fentanyl drug bust includes pills shaped as Valentine's Day candy. Those are fentanyl pills shaped like hearts. Isn't that lovely? Other news going on. Elderly Jewish man dies after a hit from pro-Palestinian protester. You can scroll down. They got a video there. It's very graphic, very upsetting. People are just stupid, man. Meanwhile, over in India, you calling me a bitch, huh? Apparently this is gang violence in India. Everybody was kung fu fighting. But if you scroll down here, it's something about 2 different schools. I don't know. I'll link to that. We got China boldly claims it has planned to mass-produce humanoid robots that can reshape the world within 2 years. Good luck with that. Look at this now. I just thought this was interesting. Former St. Clair High School, this is in Missouri, teacher has made nearly $1 million on OnlyFans. Play a little bit of this.
The Metro speaks only.
Where were these teachers when I was in school? I'm just saying.
Being outed for bearing.
Just saying.
When that Franklin County woman's OnlyFans page was found, she was pulled from the classroom.
She was. Well, now she's a millionaire up from. And this here, I'm not going to read that headline out loud. My God, this world. For all the news, please check my favorite videos. Pro-Palestine rally turns violent. Some more of that. We got 10 freeway out in L.A. engulfed in fire. Put a link to that. And they're checking the integrity of an overpass that was completely lit up. Virginia brothel. National security concerns. Politicians, military officers. There's one to look at. Take a look at that. Yeah. Thieves targeting first responders. Apparently up in Seattle, they're stealing stuff off fire trucks as firemen are working at fires. U.S. launches retaliatory airstrike in Syria. Dimcat's got one. All kinds of fresh news of my favorites. Thank you to everybody still putting out content, keeping people informed. You guys are doing awesome. And my shout outs this week, nothing too big, just short and simple, just a message that everyone should hear. This realization, we'll call it.
One day it will dawn on you that the people that you ridiculed and dismissed as conspiracy theorists were just family members and friends who loved you enough to tell you the truth.
Yeah. Something to think about. Why we do what we do. And why we've done it all these years. Not really a thrilling week of news, but definitely madness on top of madness on top of madness. World War III, potential new strains coming, but get your vaccine and all this stuff. And transmissible strokes and transmissible Bell's palsy. You better not need a blood transfusion. Of course, I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just sharing some stuff with you that I found this week. I hope you guys are doing well. If you like the report, please give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If you think it sucked, it's the worst you've ever seen, just please rate. It helps move around. You can also follow me on all my links below, the BitChute, the Gab, the Twitter, the Facebook, all of the links are at the bottom. You can support me on Patreon or directly with DonorBox. I put a lot into these reports. A lot went into this one. Again, though, nothing too alarming this week. I am still looking out for Operation Blackjack, as signs of that everywhere. Apparently, in the next coming weeks, we're going to have, like I said, watch Iceland for volcanic eruption. Watch the U.S. is going to come upon another. We're running out of money again here in the next week or two. This is going to be some budget talks coming up. Because the last thing we approved only kicked the can down the road a couple weeks or whatever it was. So here it comes again. Like I said, around Thanksgiving and Christmas, we're going to have all that bullshit again. So you guys take care. Stay safe. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on Sunday where I give you the news. Remain vigilant. Take care of each other. I love you very much. I will see you on the next one.